Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I want to talk to you guys about a huge new announcement that we just heard last week, talking about how now World of Warcraft players and PvP can now use add-ons at LAN. There's a list of pre-approved add-ons, Gladius, S-Arena, Omni, CC, and then I think Tidy Plates and Plate Buffs. Those 5 add-ons are all going to be allowed at LAN. This is a huge deal. A lot of differing opinions on that. While we talk about that, guys, I'm just going to have this game in the background. I am going to be kind of breaking it down a little bit later into this game, but we are playing some Rogue Mage Shaman RMS versus Shadow Priest Mage Resto Druid RMS. If you're wondering, not the greatest comp, but we're playing it anyway because the TM Sturge and the TM Pika playing with the TM Czar, okay? Anyway, add-ons allowed in tournaments. What do I think about this? Is this good? Is this bad? What does that mean for the competitive environment? A lot of differing opinions. If you guys have been following along on Twitter, social media, a lot of people saying this is great. A lot of people are saying this is terrible. And I want to let you guys know what I think about this. So the add-ons, well, first of all, it's only some add-ons, right? We don't get Omni Bar, so we can't track enemy cooldowns. You can't track like kicks still, ice blocks or defensives, offensive, all those type of things are still pretty much untrackable. What you can use now is S-Arena and Gladius. And the big thing that these show that the default arena frames don't show are diminishing returns. And what I mean by diminishing returns are things like Sap, Cheap Shot, Garrote, if we blind, anything like that, Polymorph, all of those diminishing returns in the default UI you can't see. And in my opinion, the diminishing return should be in the default UI anyway for arena frames. So do I think it's a big deal? No. In fact, I think it should be in the default UI anyways, right? I think diminishing return should be shown. So why are a lot of people freaking out about this? A lot of people are saying that if the diminishing returns are shown at LAN, then it lowers the skill cap because all of a sudden you don't have to track the DRs yourself in your head. You're just relying on add-ons. And if you can use these add-ons, where does it stop? Like some add-ons will just start playing for you. Some add-ons will count everything for you. And then all of a sudden, instead of having the true best player win, it's the player with the best add-ons or the player with, utilizing these add-ons to track the diminishing returns for them. Now, the counter argument for that is everyone can use these same 5 add-ons, so it's going to basically be the best player that can utilize, these add-ons or utilize what is actually allowed. My personal opinion is that they 100% should be allowed, mainly because compositions with rogues, with mages, any type of Resto Druids, any type of spammable CC, guess what? Heavily rely on diminishing returns, right? When can I next poly? When can we next stun? When can we next fear or blind? Like, all of these things really matter when you're playing a comp like RMP. They really matter when you're playing a comp like RMP. Where they don't matter as much is when you're playing a comp like Lock Shaman or I was going to say Shadow Play, but maybe Shadow Play with the fear diminishing returns is pretty important. But a lot of these dampening, like LSD, compositions don't matter as much, right? The diminishing returns don't matter as much. So all of a sudden we have this environment where RMP players are heavily disadvantaged at LAN, at tournaments, when they can't use add-ons, because now they're just blind when it comes to the diminishing return. They played on all the cups, on the online cups, and they played all the qualifiers with add-ons. They get to LAN, now they don't have add-ons, they're playing significantly worse. So my argument is, if you're qualifying for these tournaments with add-ons, and all of the online cups are with add-ons, why would you then go to LAN without add-ons? Essentially reducing the skill, or increasing the amount of mistakes players are going to make. If you remove the add-ons, you remove the trackers, you remove the diminishing returns, players are making more mistakes, making it a little bit less of this perfect gameplay, right? Making it a little, lowering the skill that we're watching in the tournaments, right? There's going to be more mistakes if you don't have the add-ons to track it. So in my opinion, with the add-ons, we're getting some higher level gameplay. There's less mistakes happening, which means games will end quicker. Well, I mean, which means games can also go on longer. But like it can mean the games end quicker because the DRs are tracked better. It could also mean games go on longer because you're tracking better and then living longer. But either way, the game is going to be of higher quality because there'll be less mistakes being made because you have the add-ons to track it. Now, do I think every add-on should be allowed? Probably not. Like, there's some add-ons like Gladiator Losa that's just like, I think there should be add-ons that are not allowed. Maybe even Omnibar is too good, tracking things like kicks and stuff like that. But I think at the very least, right, we're just talking about Gladius and S Arena here. At the very least, I think that should be allowed. Omni CC, there's already a built-in one. I don't think anyone's complaining about that. Tidy plates and plate buffs, I'm actually not super familiar with either. But what everyone's really talking about is whether or not you should be able to track diminishing returns. Now, on a large scale, all the rogue, mage, priest players are very happy, and a lot of the shaman players or a lot of the LSD type players are kind of sad, right? And that's just, it kind of makes sense, right? It's essentially buffing the RMPs in tournaments and nerfing the shaman teams in tournaments, because the RMPs like need these add-ons to really compete, right? You don't need them, but to compete at the highest level, you kind of do, because you have to track everything so precisely when you're doing your setups. It's not just like, oh yeah, let's just do a go. And like, no, we have to really count down. And now without the add-ons, we have to wait another 5-10 seconds, right? We have to wait another 12. Like, we have to start waiting extra time because we don't know exactly when the DRs are off. So we just err on the side of, like just waiting a little bit longer for those diminishing returns to fade. So that's kind of why it's like, okay, a comp like RMP, maybe hasn't done well in the tournaments. And that's something else I want to talk about. Comps like RMP have never really won BlizzCon, although they've been very good throughout history. Why? Because, like, a lot of people will say that because there's no add-ons allowed. Comps like RMP, even when they're very strong, very good, never win BlizzCon. And what we see winning BlizzCon more often than not are Shaman teams, Warlock teams, and Druid teams, right? LSD type teams. A lot of the time, not all the time. And there has been, I think, like a Mage Windwalker to win BlizzCon, and there has been, I think, like Melee Cleaves to win BlizzCon, but I don't know if we've ever seen an RMP just come up and actually win BlizzCon ever. You guys can fact check that on me, but I don't think we've ever seen an RMP actually just win BlizzCon. And a lot of people say that is due to RMP needing these add-ons to actually function because there's so many things if you're playing an RMP to actually track. It is not a comp you can just run in and face roll. It is a comp where you have to look at the diminishing returns, wait for the TRs, do a go, and really weigh all of these different diminishing returns. And you can't just kind of run in, train someone down and win a game. It's a lot of very, very calculated abilities. So do I think it's good? I think it's great. I think it's really good that I think it should be in the default UI. I think it's really good that if you're playing qualifiers with add-ons and you're playing online cups with add-ons, I think the LANs should allow some add-ons. And I do like that it's not every add-on, because there's some add-ons like that might be a little bit too good, maybe like Tell Me When or Gladiator Losa, that will literally kind of start playing the game for you. And I think I would be a little upset if that was the case. But it doesn't look like that's the case. We're just getting some very basic level add-ons to allow players to actually play to their true potential at LAN environments instead of being handicapped when they're playing at, when they're playing on cups or on ladder. They're actually playing much better because they have these add-ons. So it was always funny to me. I'm like, well, when we're watching these tournaments, these guys are actually making a lot more mistakes than they normally would be because they don't have add-ons. So we're actually watching some. It was always funny to me that at BlizzCon we were watching lower level games than we see at the cups. In my own mind, that's what I was thinking. Like, interesting. I would like to see no add-ons. But anyway, I guess we didn't get to talk too much about this game. Playing RMS, Shaman Zoom, 17% dampening. We're fighting Frost Mage Shadow Priest God Comp. Druid, 31%, no Trinket available. I don't know if Priest has life swap. He might have it back. I think he swapped once earlier this game. We have Kleptomania, so we could Klepto all of these hots and try to go for the kill here on the Druid. Mage is casting Polymorph. We have no counterspell available. All those things happening right now. We blink, we Klepto him, Maledict hits, and he does go down. Pretty insane game there. I actually thought we'd be able to talk about the game a little bit more, but had a lot to talk about with LANs being allowed or not being allowed. that was this game here. This is actually one of our games up to rank 1 on ladder. I think the video before this talks about us hitting rank 1 in North America, so I was pretty happy about that, playing RMS with the Shaman, RMD with the Druid, RMP with the Priest, and RMP with the Paladin. A lot of different rogue mage compositions, having such a fun time playing with Peekaboo. But the question I really want to leave you guys with is, what do you think about add-ons versus no add-ons in tournaments, right? There's arguments for both sides, right? If you add add-ons in, now all of a sudden, players don't track it themselves and the add-ons start playing for you, right? If you don't add add-ons in, people are making more mistakes and it lowers what players can actually do in tournaments, hurting compositions where add-ons are important, like RMP, because you really have to track the diminishing returns. There's arguments for both sides. What do you guys think? Should they be allowed? Should they not be allowed? If they are allowed, how many add-ons should be allowed? All of those type of things. Start a discussion down below in the comments. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say about that at the end of this video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave the video a thumbs up if you liked it and a thumbs down if you didn't. Like I said, talk to me down below in the comments what you guys think about all of this type of stuff. Follow me on Instagram, Xaryu LOL on the gram, Xaryu LOL. Take your phone out, swipe up, open the app, follow me on the gram. Tons of fitness content over there, mindset stuff. I talk about when I'm uploading these YouTube videos, like exactly when they go live on the Insta stories, when I'm live streaming on Twitch, everything over on the Instagram, so go follow that for sure. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.